Hello, everybody, and welcome to your Wednesday lighting critique. So for starters, before we hop into images, we did want to talk about a question from Jordan. And Jordan, let me make sure I got this summed up correctly. So basically the question is, like when or how do you use backplates when you're working and like credits and when it's okay to use it? Is that, yeah, so.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's especially when there's like, say we're looking for one and we don't actually see an artist being credited for it. It's just like a royalty-free image or an image on Google that you can't really find who made it. Like maybe it's on some background site.
Yeah, I mean that's so the one thing about a demo reel is that it's not a commercial product, right? Like it's just for personal use, which means that you're not going to get like sued for using it because you're not making money off of it. But it's really good practice that whenever you're building a demo reel, to accompany it with a breakdown sheet or something like that, or like a clickable PDF on your website that just shows not only what you did specifically on each shot, but also gives credit to the other resources. Now, in a situation where you can't find the artist's name, the closest thing is like the next best thing is to say it's credited to this website. If you don't know, a good practice too is to use the reverse Google image search, and you might be able to track it down that way. I've done that before. But yeah, it's a little tricky when you're doing that. But for the most part, it's pretty okay. And like, but from a larger standpoint, it's really important to have something either on your website or like on your attached near your reel that demonstrates again what you did and what you did not do. And also like I've always felt like when I'm looking at other people's reel, when they have like a couple of credits like so and so did this, so and so did that, it shows a demonstration of respect to other people's work within the industry. You know what I mean? Like they're not especially because I've seen a couple from like our assets when they don't say that they didn't make those assets, and I'm like you might want to throw that in there because I kind of know you didn't make that, and you're kind of it's just like implying that you did. I'm not saying that anyone's lying or anything, but like it's really good practice to be like, I did this, I didn't do that. But yeah. Okay, but before I get into images, I do want to thank everybody. I know Jasmine sent out an email last night and we were talking about it, and so with the layoffs at Blue Sky and the closing of Blue Sky Studios, the outpouring of support not only from you guys but from everybody else in the industry has been incredible. I can't keep up with responding to them. I find it a little bit overwhelming. But the support from people asking if they can help, just saying nice things. We may not respond very quickly, but it really does mean a lot. And Jasmine and I were talking this morning about like how great you all have been, especially, and how proud we are of this community, and how supportive it is. Because at one point or another, like this is just like whether you're in animation, whether you're in finance, whether you're in real estate, whatever, like your layoffs are going to happen. People are going to like jobs are going to come and go. But we're really lucky to be in an industry that's supportive and kind to each other, and be really resilient. So there are jobs that are available right now. Like I said, there's been two financial whatevers in my career. One in 2008, like the 2008 one, and then this one. And in both cases, animation has been resilient through both of them. We sold more movie sale tickets during the financial crisis of 2008 than we did before, because it's just like it's a cheaper thing that everybody in the family can go to. With COVID, we don't have to worry about being on set to shoot things. We can continue working. It's just a matter of like we were part of this larger Disney family that, as the articles say, like they own theme parks, they own cruise ships, they own ESPN, they own sporting events, and all that stuff is suffering. And they just didn't have the overhead to seemingly to carry 3 feature animation studios. So that's kind of the way it goes. But all that aside, I won't talk about this too much more. But like Jasmine and I have always been really open and honest about the industry and our process, not only of making shots, but also all the other parts of it too. So if you guys ever have questions about what this is like, definitely just chime in, let us know. We are pretty open books. We're not going to say anything we're not allowed to say. Like there are some things I can't talk about, but we'll let you know if there's anything like that. But let's get to some images. Right, share my screen. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and open up. So I've got everything in Photoshop here somewhere. Here's Photoshop. All right. So we have some submissions from Kat and Pearl. Light day, but so we'll start. I tell you what, we'll start with Pearl, and then we'll go back to. Actually, I think you're both here. Yes. So Pearl, this looks really good in that you're really doing a good job of like focusing the eye into this region here. And like because there was like a glowy element that was over here before. I do think that we could even possibly go a little bit darker over here. And then I still would like for you to focus in and really work on this the light bulby bit in the center of these rows to really feel a stronger central light source in there. And then the other thing was the position of these. Actually, I think it's okay. I was going to take it back and say I wonder if there's a way that we could use those to frame the characters up better, but I actually think that this works pretty well to lock us off from down here, and then this kind of focuses us in here. And then these, yeah, I take that back. I think that works out pretty well. And I do like that we're seeing a little bit of the orange glow light influence on the bottom of this. I do think that we can push it a little bit more onto this piece of wood and maybe even onto these guys just a little tiny bit. The characters themselves look really good. I think that the stuff on top looks nice. For the rice here, I think you can go a little bit brighter and a little bit warmer. It's looking a little gray blue in the core color, and it feels almost like a fish itself, like he has like a fish scale. I think you can push a little more warmth in there, and then I think you can get a little bit more value and brightness onto this Maki Roll's face. But it's coming along really well. And by the way, I should say we've got Pearls and Cats, and then Jordan has a demo reel update, and then possibly something else coming. Okay, so Cat. So let's take a look at. Let's do this one first. So we've got your reference here, and this guy. It's looking great. I love the lights trickling in through this. One thing that I think that you could do. Let's see. So one of the things that I saw when I first opened this up was like, I love these posters, but they're too clean and they're too like unfazed by their surroundings. So I would just either muddy them up a little bit in the texture map, or just pull back on the saturation a little bit. Especially like the yellows and reds, they feel a little bit punchy, and they're kind of pulling my up this way, and I want them to fall back into the wall a little bit more. In terms of the overall lighting, I think it's working pretty well. I would like to see some more subsurface scattering on the hair, just to get a little bit more of this level of shaping, like we're seeing out of these different hairdos here, and that's kind of true for both of your examples. I think we can push that a little bit stronger to feel the light penetrating the hair a little bit more. And you're getting good specularity on the skin. I'm wondering if the diffuse value can come down just a notch, because it's like once we're getting that specularity in there, it's lifting. It's feeling like the value is lifting a little bit higher. So I think the diffuse can come down a little bit. And then I'd like to see. I'm wondering if, because we've got this red light coming down kind of from overhead. I'm wondering if this couldn't actually function as a little bit of a rim on this side of her. And less, like maybe allow just the white light to be kind of hitting her on the key side, and then the red light kind of hitting her as a rim. And then in terms of this light here, wondering if I like where your thoughts at to kind of keep it toned down a little bit so it's not distracting. But I wonder if it's maybe a little bit toned down a little bit too much. Like maybe brighten it up a little bit and see if we can't get a little bounce throw. But just like 10% brighter. Yeah, but I think this one's looking pretty good. Let's take a look at the other shot here. So one of the things here too is let's see if we can get a little bit more of that warmth in the hair and that subsurface scattering, because I'm wondering if We might be missing an opacity on the hair because it feels very hard edged. And I'm wondering if we're missing something there, but it definitely should feel a little bit warmer than this. In terms of, I think your depth of field looks good. I think you were kind of talking about that, but overall, I do think that we could add a little bit more warmth into this one. I think overall it's feeling a little bit neutral to kind of grayish, and I think because we're seeing direct sunlight on her, I think it would be nice to kind of feel those warm values a little bit more strongly.
Okay.
And then and I'm wondering,
yeah, that hair's kind of weird. It was, I was looking at the different references and I was just trying to figure out like where to hit it. So
yeah, I mean, so it looks like the light is positioned behind her, and kind of coming in this way, and
right.
So with that, you really wanted to hit as like almost like a rim, and then allow the subsurface to do its thing here in the middle. Like I said, like similar to some of these reference points, because like a lot of this stuff is the light coming in from behind. The reference that you've chosen has got really, really great skin tones and specular highlights in there, so getting something along those lines would be really, really good. I mean, you're pretty close right now, but maybe adding a little bit more of the bump into the skin would just to kind of break it up a little bit, because it's a little bit mannequin-y right now, and getting that little bit of bump, that skin bump in there, I think would help out a lot. And then
okay, I'll work on that.
And then just like you were talking about getting some more, and then getting a little bit more light hits on the background, like you were talking about getting that like light to dark fall off thing, and I think that you can still get that in, because it's like if there's light kind of coming in on her here, I would almost want to see it a little bit like scraping, like it would be kind of scraping along these buildings a little bit. Maybe not even so much this one because it's set back from the others, but definitely like out over here, just like try and get that scraping along. But that's really good. But yeah, these are coming along really well. Do you have any questions about them? And Pearl, I should ask you too. Do either of you have any questions? Okay. All right, cool. Let's hop over into the Discord. Okay. Sorry, I think I might have interrupted somebody. Okay. In terms of let's see, where are we at? Oh, the feedback here. Okay. All right, so Jordan, you got your show reel updated here, so let's go ahead and take a look at that in real time. Sorry, before I do that, let me I just want to make sure I'm not sharing something on my screen before this pops open. Yeah, this is fine. All right. I'm always afraid of pop-ups on screens. Okay. Let's take a look here. Get the screen share going again. All right. All right, so let's take a look here. So for starters, this is great. I think that the font could just be a little bit thicker to read it a little bit more easily. But like this is all you need. This is perfect. It's funny. So, and again, this is the first. Jordan just posted this. So this is literally the first time I've seen this. So it's really funny to see the flame in context in animation, because it changes it. It makes it much more magical because it's just floating along with him. You know. It changes my perception of the look of it a little bit, and it's interesting. Yeah. So I think it actually works a lot better as a still. That's great.
I think some stuff cuts off. I think the resolution got up. Let me
see. Yeah, so some stuff got cut off here. So with this kind of thing, you don't need to put it on the image. Like this is where you would want the PDF or something on the side of it.
Okay.
I mean, you could put like reference. Like you can put reference under here, but like I don't think you need to put Coco. Yeah, but this is a really good structure to it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking for notes on the individual shots or just the overall structure of it?
I could do notes on like the Aang one and
Yeah.
as well as Prisma. I think I haven't updated Prisha yet, so I would just be for Aang
Okay.
for now.
Yeah, but the pacing, like again, same thing with this stuff. It's great that you're crediting people, but you can do that off the side. And again, don't worry about like, you can just say reference. I think most people would know that that's from Moana. And yeah, and then the cutoff issue.
I didn't update that one yet. I haven't gotten back to that. So.
Okay, let's take a look at Aang. So the one thing about it is because we're cutting it with the reference, like there's a little bit more, and this is probably from my advice, but looking at this, there's more coolness in the cave than in the reference. So perhaps we should darken that down just a little bit in the blue values, just to get that to match up a little bit better.
Okay.
But in terms of, let's see. I do want, I don't know if you can see my cursor, like this area right in here, like there's a kind of an orb on the bottom of it. I want the interior of that to be brighter. Like I want, so, can you see my mouse? So.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So we've got this up here, and then there's like this circle down here. Mm-hmm. This stuff in the middle, I'm wondering if basically I just want that to be different somehow. Actually, well, that's weird. So in that frame.
Oh, I know what it is.
Okay.
I had something, and I changed something in the final.
Yeah.
That's not in the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of the lighting on him, like he moves pretty well through it. Yeah, yep. I think he looks good. I'm just let's take a look at those tweaks the next time. But I think this is good.
Okay, awesome.
Sound good?
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, and there was potentially one more coming in. Let's see.
I need like 30 seconds.
Okay. Well, in that case, let's go ahead and stop sharing that. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Is there any topics you guys want to bring up? This came up in the Katana help group, and it was about the default renderer of Katana, and having to do with Arnold, like because somebody had bought the indie version of Maya, and they're like, oh, it comes with Arnold, therefore I have Arnold, and unfortunately, from what I gather, Arnold only you only get it with Maya in that instance. But what I found out, which I didn't know, is that RenderMan also has a free version for Katana the same way they do for Maya, so you can download RenderMan too. It's a good option. But 3D Delight is actually a lot better. I was expecting it to be like Maya software or Maya hardware renderer and just be like a pretty goofy one, but it worked out pretty well. Like I think it's really nice.
Hey Mike.
Yeah.
I actually emailed Katana and they are doing education licenses. They sent me a link to apply for it, just so everybody knows if somebody wants to get Katana for an education.
Oh yeah.
I haven't gotten the details yet, but they are doing it.
I gotta tell you too, they're really, really great. Like they I was gonna say they were so kind again, and part of the kindness thing, to us at Blue Sky and like helping people get some educational licenses and stuff as they're like transitioning and trying to they help they're a good company, like they do things the right way. So that's so definitely reach out to them. They're just the education at foundry.com. And they are, like I said, they're very, very, very easy to work with. Let's see. Okay, so Kevin, I got yours. Just go ahead and upload it here.
Sweet.
All right.
Down to the line.
Yeah, you did. No, it's totally fine. I mean, I used to work with somebody who who was a good friend, but she cracked me up because she would go into rounds, like dailies, and there was a computer in the room that was meant to like help production coordinators like track everything, and she would use that to like do a last minute tweak on her shot like during the meeting when they were looking at other shots. And I was like, dude, you gotta let it go. And it was just so funny because it was always so frantic, showing her stuff because it was like, wait, is that the latest? Is that the latest? And then she would put in the latest and it would be like this little thing would go boop, like this little tiny change. We're like, all right, that's okay. All right. Okay, let me pull up the screen here. Okay. So again, first time taking a look at it. You're doing a really good job getting shaping on the house. It's really, really hard because it's like that kind of big, blocky, flat surface.
Yeah, I kind of got lucky. It kind of just worked out that way with some of the angles.
It's real. I mean, like, I don't know what angle you have it at because it's just
similar to what you did in the web course.
Yeah.
And I just kind of just adjusted it as I saw, and then I think because you also used the go-go to kind of get some like cloud shaping.
Yeah.
And I think it just kind of worked out well, and I just kind of kept it the way it was.
Yeah, no, it looks really good. The only thing I'm noticing, and this is totally minor, but like if you just kind of watch the tree off here to the right, like keep your eye on that, like the wash of light kind of creeps in on it, and that's like it might be a 2D move, like a 2D thing on a 3D camera move, and it's kind of revealing itself.
Yeah.
But
I think I have a roto there. It's messing with it.
Yeah. But it would just be a matter of like kind of softening that edge a little bit, so that we're not as aware of it.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the only other thing too, I would try and get a little bit more bounce light under just these background trees, like these three here, and maybe on this back side of this fence. Just try and boost put an area light back there, or a couple of them, and just boost a little bit of light bouncing up underneath them because it looks good here, but it's just a little bit more because what happens is, when you're layering in the atmospheric effects, it just like lifts it to kind of a muddy gray color. And we want there to be like a little bit of shaping in there.
Okay,
so
cool.
That's good. Yeah. Great job there. Okay, cool. All right. Well, that is it for today, guys. Did you have anything else before we break for the day?
Yeah. Actually, I have a quick question. Oh, did I interrupt someone?
No. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I was wondering, like, because I know Blue Sky was like one of the only big East Coast animation studios. I was wondering, what do you think about the future of like East Coast stuff? Because California cost of living is really high, and I was just thinking about that yesterday.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think unfortunately, if I'm being honest, I don't know if another feature animation house is going to open on the East Coast. They've tried it a couple times in Florida. They did a feature in Atlanta called Delgo. Blue Sky was a stable one. But that being said, is that I have disagreements with people about this. I do think that remote work is going to become more and more popular. So I think it opens up opportunities for more, not only East Coast living, but pretty much living wherever you want. For me, in my limited business brain, I think it makes too much sense. Because you don't need, it removes a lot of overhead costs for companies. Like you don't need huge office space. With things like, cloud rendering becoming more and more prevalent, like you don't need as much physical space as you used to, and people are just getting more comfortable and frankly better at working from home than they ever did in the office, especially with overtime, because like. If I was at the office and I was trying to get home to like have dinner with my family or something, like that would stop me from working sometimes. But having a remote access, I can work here, I can go have dinner, go put the kids to bed, and come right back to work. I know that doesn't sound great, but like it's a heck of a lot better than the alternative. So I think remote work is, for some companies, is going to be here to stay.
That's awesome.
Totally personal opinion though. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. We'll see.
We'll see, hopefully.
Mike.
Yeah.
This is Diana.
Hey, Diana.
Hey, if you have time right now, could you take a look at the final quality sequence that I uploaded? It's actually in lighting chat.
Oh, yeah.
If you could.
Sure.
I just wanted to.
Am I still going up? Wait. There's a lot in here. Let's see. Wait,
Yeah. Do you want me to re-upload it?
No. Let's see. I can find it. Oh, lighting chat. Oh, wait, I was in the wrong one. Lighting chat. Oh, yes. Yeah, cool. Let's take a look. All right, can you see my screen? Ooh. That's pretty. No, that's great. That cleaned up really nice.
Yeah, the samples were pretty low. This took a while, so.
Yeah. No, I think this looks great. I'm doing the nitpicky thing, but I'm looking at her. I'm wondering if, like, I can't step through. There's a pose that she hits like that where she gets a little, like her skin gets a little bright.
Yeah.
Are you able to crypto her skin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just tone it down a little bit. Maybe her hair too.
Would you like animate it though?
Yeah.
Right there. Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would, because and maybe like take her down because she's a little bit bright in here.
Yeah.
But like this pose is good. It's just a matter of like you can hide. Like I said, you can hide it from here. I'm sorry, I can't step through on the Discord video thing. But like from here to here, you can slowly animate them down until like as she's moving. And I know you said you were going to add motion blur too. That'll help hide the animation as well. But in terms of the lighting and the quality, I think this looks great. It's just that last little thing.
All right.
Yeah, good job, dude.
Thanks.
Really good. Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm good. Okay. For a second there, I thought it's like I got a pop up saying like, "Oh, how did your stream go?" Like, I'm still doing it. Okay, that's great. Anybody else have anything before we go? All right. Thank you guys again so much for your support. You guys are amazing. And we will see you. What day is today? Today's Wednesday. Remember, Friday, Monday, no critiques. I have to be on dad duty those days, so I don't. There's no time for me to dedicate. Like, there's no like a good chunk of time where I can be like, oh, I'll be online at 12 o'clock today because kids are unpredictable. But keep posting, and if I can, I'll hop on and give written feedback over those days. And I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, be good, everybody. Happy lighting.